First of all, I want to say Happy New Year to everyone. Hope you achieve your goals for this 2022, and I really hope you have an amazing start of the year. With that being said, I'm going to give you a list to the 5 best PreBuilt gaming PCs of this early 2022, just like my first video. Also, because it's been 1 year since I uploaded my first video for this channel. I used to upload some gaming stuff before this, but it's been a year since I uploaded my first video of this ShadowGamingPC channel. So thank you everyone for the support. Have an amazing year, and with that being said, let's start with the video. This time I'm going to give you 5 different options, but I'm going to go from the most expensive one all the way down to the cheapest one, so it's going to be a little different from any other video, so make sure to stay tuned at the end depending on what's your budget. With the first gaming PC, we have the most expensive one. It's 4400 bucks. It's really expensive, I know, but it has the RTX 3090, which is really hard to get right now, and it's of course the best graphics card out there on the market. You also get the AMD Ryzen 9 5950X for the processor, and of course it's liquid cooled, so you don't have to worry about any temperatures. The case has some great airflow. The CPU has a great cooler, so you don't have to worry about any temperatures. Of course, the price is really high, so it really depends on your budget. It also comes with 32 gigs of RAM, DDR4 at 3600 MHz, so once again, no need to worry about multitasking. You're going to be able to do a lot of multitasking, especially 3D rendering, video editing, and most importantly, streaming with one PC if that's what you want. You also get 1TB of NVMe Gen 4 SSD. Now, if you're spending 4,400 bucks on a gaming PC, I actually recommend you upgrading this 1TB of SSD because it might not be enough for you. I would put another 1TB of SSD or maybe 2TB if it's not enough for you, especially because if you're buying this PC, you probably want to be a content creator or you want to do heavy stuff on this gaming PC with heavy files, so 1TB might not be enough for you, but that really depends on your necessities. You also get a 1000 watts gold power supply, so really good for future upgrades in case you want to switch the GPU to the new RTX 40 series coming out. I don't know when, but they are eventually going to come out at some point. So of course this PC is going to be enough for 4K gaming, 4K editing, whatever you want to throw at it. This PC is going to be capable of doing it. With the next PC, we have the AVS Legend Gaming Desktop. This one has the i9 11900KF. Once again, a great processor. It's liquid cool as well, of course. You get the RTX 3080 Ti, really similar to the 3090. You get 16 gigs of RAM at 3200 MHz and 1TB of M.2 NVMe SSD. All of these combined coming at 3400 MHz, and it's on sale right now. You end up saving $500, and believe me that this is a good deal if you're working with a high-end budget, because not only you're saving 500 bucks, but you're saving around $1,000 from the last PC, and the performance is actually going to be really similar because between the 3080 Ti and the 3090 there is no such a huge difference. The same thing is going to happen with the processor. The only thing that you can upgrade if you want and if you need to is the RAM. If you're going to do streaming with one PC or you're going to do a lot of multitasking with multi-tabs on Google Chrome, then you may want to get another 16 gigs of RAM. But if you're not going to do that, if you're just going to buy this gaming PC to run games at 1440p or even 4K 60 FPS on average, then 16 gigs of RAM are going to be way more than enough. But if you're thinking of doing things like I said before, then you might want to get more RAM. With the next PC, we have what I think is the best PC here on this list in terms of price performance. It's $2,300. Still pretty expensive, but you get the RTX 3070 Ti, which is going to be way more than enough for the average gamer. You're also going to get 16 gigs of RAM DDR4, 500 gigs of SSD with 2TB of hard drive, so you're going to get more storage than the other PCs. Maybe you get a slower storage because you get 2TB of hard drive and 500 gigs of SSD, but the important thing here is that you get that i7 12700KF, so you get the latest i7 processor on the market right now for 2300 bucks. And believe me that I've tried to search for another PreBuilt PC that has the latest i7 combined with the RTX 3070 Ti, and I couldn't find one. This one was the best one I found for the price. So if you're searching for a gaming PC with the latest i7 with a 12th gen processor and also a great GPU, the RTX 3070 Ti, like I said before, is going to be enough for almost everyone. Basically, you're going to be able to run 1440p, 144 FPS on average, and even 4K 4K 60 FPS on average, depending of course on the game that you want to play, but for most games, even Red Dead Redemption 2, 4K 60 FPS average on high settings is going to be enough. And if you're thinking of playing competitive games such as Fortnite and CSGO, I think this one is going to be way more than enough, and you don't need actually this gaming PC if you're just going to play those games. A 1080p PreBuilt gaming PC is going to be enough as well, and I'm going to talk about those PreBuilt PCs later. But what I'm trying to say, if you're just going to play those games, make sure at least you get a 1440p 144Hz or even 240Hz monitor. Then I think this PC is not going to be worth it if you're just going to play on a 1080p monitor, because you can literally buy $1,000 gaming PC and it's going to be way more than enough for those 240 FPS on average on those two games. On the next one for $1,700, and this one it's a little bit more affordable at least, and it's on a sale right now, but it says that it ends in 3 hours, so I don't know if it's going to be on sale when you watch this video, but it has the i7-11700F, which is liquid cooled, so that's pretty cool for CPU temps. You also get the RTX 3060 Ti, so this combination is going to be great for both multitasking and gaming. You also get 60 gigs of RAM and 1TB of SSD. Now, like I said, this combination for the average gamer is going to be way more than enough, even for 1440p 60 FPS on average and 144 or more FPS on average at 1440p in competitive games. And if you're going to buy this gaming PC for a 1080p 240Hz monitor, once again it's going to be enough, and you're going to be able to run every single high-end video game at 1080p at more than 60 FPS average, even Microsoft Flight Simulator at medium to high settings, which is a really hard game to run, so keep that in mind. If you have a budget that's between $1,700 to $2,000, consider this gaming PC. I think it's one of the greatest deals out there for a PreBuilt PC, especially because of that CPU-GPU combination. You get a great CPU and GPU, so consider this gaming PC for both gaming and multitasking. For the next PC we have another CyberPower PC, and this one is pretty interesting because it says $1,014 and you get the i5-11400F, which is a really good budget CPU. You get the RTX 2060 and 500 gigs of SSD. You also get a Wi-Fi card and Windows 11 Home alongside with a keyboard and a mouse. Now it says that it's $1,200 on the website, but if you scroll down you can find a section where it says other sellers from Amazon and it says $1,014 for the same exact PC. You just add it to the card and it's the same PC. Now this gaming PC is meant to play at 1080p 240Hz monitor or a 144 one if you can't afford a 240Hz one, and you also get that RTX 2060, which is going to be better than the GTX 1660 Ti, which is what you mostly get at this price point, and you also get an entry level of ray tracing, so that's something to keep in mind if you want to play games with ray tracing but you don't want to spend a lot of money. This gaming PC is going to be the one for you. There's also no video game that you cannot run with this gaming PC at 1080p. You can play at 1440p 60 FPS on average on competitive games, but this is more of a 1080p type of PreBuilt PC, so keep that in mind if you have a 1080p monitor, or if you're not thinking of playing with better quality monitors, this gaming PC is going to be enough if you're thinking of playing maybe games like Fortnite. So believe me that if you're playing those type of games, this PC is the one for you if you don't have the budget to spend on a better gaming PC, or if you don't want to spend more money, because I think it's useless to spend more money if you're not going to buy a better monitor. And if you're working with a really tight budget, I would go with an HP Pavilion gaming desktop like this one that you're seeing right now. It has an AMD Ryzen 5 4600G with a GTX 1650 Super. I think it's one of the best budget GPUs out there on the market right now. You get 8 gigs of RAM on dual channel, 2 sticks of 4 gigs. You also get 256 gigs of SSD, and the total price is going to be $624. It's on sale right now for $100, and that's why I put it here. I think it's really good for the value that they're offering, and you can actually adjust it to your budget, because maybe you have $800, so you can't buy the CyberPower one that's $1,000, but you also can buy a little bit better than this HP Pavilion. Then you click on customize and buy, and if you have, let's say, $800, I will go ahead, click on customize and buy, and change the RAM to 12 gigs of RAM. Go ahead, change the storage to 500 gigs of SSD, and then change the graphics card to a 1660 Super, and change the power supply to the 400 watts option. The total price will be $799, and you get a system with the GTX 1660 Super, 12 gigs of RAM, a Ryzen 5 4600G, so you get a really balanced system for the price that you're paying, and it's going to be enough once again for 1080p gaming, 60 FPS average in every every single game, and it's actually going to be enough for a 144Hz monitor for those competitive games. CSGO, Valorant, Minecraft, Rocket League, and all of those games. And if you're still in doubt, I have a video on an HP Pavilion which is really similar to this one that you can watch in the top right of the screen. I actually have it, so I made a review, so make sure to check that out if you want to see how this PC performs. So that was my whole list for this 2022. If you found it helpful, please like and subscribe, but most importantly, hit the bell button so you get notified when I upload this type of content. And the next video is going to be about the top 5 budget gaming PCs of the year, so you may want to see that video instead of this one if you're working with a really tight budget, because I've made this video with every single PC for every single budget, but I didn't go really deep with budget PCs, so you may want to check that out, subscribe and hit the bell button if you want to see that. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next video.